Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If to my already subscribers, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I love you this much. Mwah, I love you this much. If you're new here, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. And I know it's been a while. Yeah, it's been a while, but I'm back now. Thank you. So we started off with differentiation of special function, and we're looking at differentiation of logarithm function, exponential function, and then we said we're going to talk about trig function. So I wasn't able to do some examples on the trig function, but here we have now. So let's look at what we have here now. So we could see from the screen that if you're asked to differentiate, for instance, not for instance, like generally differentiation of cos x with respect to x is what? Negative sine x, as you can see here. Differentiation of cos x with respect to x is negative sine x. They are just standardized, will I call it now? Will I call it unit or something like that, or just standardized points that you need to know that differentiation of cos is negative sine x. Differentiation of sine x with respect to x is cos x, as you can see here. Differentiation of tan x with respect to x is sec squared x. So they are very important things that you really need to like hold on to. Now let's look at some examples here just to see how we work our way around this. So for example, here now we have that if y is equal to sine 4x, we were asked to find dy dx. That says we should differentiate y with respect to x. So how do we do this now? I'm going to use chain rule to make my work much more easier and understandable here. So I'm going to use chain rule. So let's look at this now. If I'm using chain rule now, I have that if y is equal to sine 4x, I'm asked to find dy dx. The first thing I do, remember from chain rule, I will let one of these be equal to something, then I recall and do stuff like that. So let's quickly do that. So let u be equal to 4x. So I can write my y as what? So y will be equal to what? Sine u. U be equal to 4x. Then I write my y as what? Sine u. So what do I say? What do we say chain root says dy dx is? So chain root says that dy dx is simply what? Du dx dot or times dy du. Du dx times dy du. That is differentiation of u with respect to x times differentiation of y with respect to u. So from here now, let's quickly find our du dx. So what is du dx? If u is equal to 4x, so du dx is simply what? Du dx is simply what? That's 4, right? If y is equal to sine u, dy du is simply what? Differentiation of sine is what? Cos. So that's cos u. Now let's substitute what we have here now into our formula to find what we need. So remember that du dx is what? 4. So this is 4 times what is dy du is what? Cos u. Cos u. So this is simply what? 4 cos u. But we have to recall that u is what? We recall that u is equal to what? U is equal to 4x. So if u is equal to 4x, so our final answer here is now what? Simply 4 cos what? 4x. And that's our final answer. Let's look at another example here. I hope that's well understood. So let's look at another example here. Example 2. We're asked that we're given rather that if y is equal to 2 sine 3x, we're asked to find dy dx. What is dy dx? We're using the same method. Now in this case now, what do we say? We'll let our u be equal to what? 3x. We'll let our u be equal to 3x. So let's quickly write out here. We say let u be equal to 3x. So if u is equal to 3x, I'll write my y. So y becomes what? Y becomes 2 sine what? U. So if y is equal to 2 sine u, remember that dy dx is simply what? Is simply du dx times dy du. So if dy dx is du dx times dy du, it means that I need du dx, I also need dy du. So what is du dx from here now? If u is equal to this, so du dx is simply what? 3. Then dy du is simply what? 2. Differentiation of sign is what? Cos. Also 2 cos u. Now let's substitute what we have here now into our formula and then get our dy dx. So du dx rather is what? 3, right? 3 times what is dy du? Dy du is 2 cos u. So this becomes what? This becomes 6 cos u. But remember that u is what? 3x. U is 3x. So if I substitute u as 3x into our answer is simply what? 6 cos 3x. And then we are good. Now let's look at a last question before we call it a recording or a video. Yeah, so let's look at the last example now. So I have here now example 3 that says what? If y is equal to 6 cos 1 minus 3 over 2x, we're asked to find the y dx. Yeah, so remember the way we have been doing it, right? I'll just say what? Let u be equal to what? 1 minus 3 over 2x. So y becomes what? Y becomes 6 cos u, because u is already 1 minus 3 over 2x. Now since this, I've written this now, what's the next thing? Remember that the y dx simply says what? Du dx times dy du, right? So I need du dx, I also need dy du. So what is du dx? Du dx now, let's quickly find that. Du dx is simply what? Remember, I cannot differentiate constant. Differentiation of constant is 0. 1 is constant here. But I can differentiate negative 3 over 2x. So if I differentiate negative 3 over 2x with respect to x, that's simply what? Negative 3 over 2. Then the dy du. The y du is simply what? Remember, differentiation of cos is what? Negative sign. So this becomes 6 negative sign, right? So that will be negative in front, 6 what? Sine u. That's my differentiation of y with respect to u. Now let's substitute what we have into our formula to find our final answer. So I think we just need to demarcate this in order not to. Yeah, I think this is better. So dy is simply what? Du dx is what? Negative 3 over 2. So I have negative 3 over 2 times what is dy du? Dy du is what? Negative 6 sine u. So negative by negative is what? Positive. So I have 3 over 2 times 6 sine u. So this is 2 here. We have that 2 here 1, 2 in this is 3. 3 by 3 is simply what? 9. So if that is 9 sine, remember that u is what? 1 minus 3 over 2x. So I write that I have 1 minus 3 over 2x. And that's that about that. So bye. See you in my next video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. If you have any topic you want us to look at, you can drop it in the comment section. Bye.